Chef Rich here. Today we're gonna make an amazing and delicious vegetable lasagna. So we have some freshly ground pepper, some dry basil, celery seed, our 1 plate herb salt, of course, ground garlic. We have some ricotta cheese, tomato paste, pureed tomatoes, and then we have a whole slew of delicious vegetables over here. We have carrots, we have onions, we have red bell peppers, we have eggplant, squash, and zucchini. All right, so what we're gonna start on first is the tomato sauce. First thing that goes in, onions. So I'm gonna cut these onions up. Now, the cutting of the onion, don't go crazy with it. It could be any kind of chop. What we wanna do is just kind of get it in there because remember, once this thing cooks, we're gonna puree the whole entire thing. So it really doesn't matter the size of your onion right now or how you cut it. Now, once we get this cut, now we're also gonna add something that might be strange to some people. We're gonna add a carrot into this. So we'll just chop these up and just get these in too. So what we're gonna do is keep it at kind of like a medium to a medium low temperature. Now, as this is going, I'm gonna add some aromatics to it. The first aromatic we're gonna put in there is our ground garlic. Now, celery seed is pretty strong, so you don't wanna go too much. And then the last aromatic that we're gonna put in there is gonna be our dried basil. Now, the next part that goes in is gonna be the tomato paste. Now, this is where I want you to be careful. What's gonna happen is it's gonna start to stick to the bottom of the pan, which is okay, this is what we want. Because as it sticks to the bottom of the pan, it's gonna start to caramelize. So we'll give it a mix, and I wanna make sure that tomato paste is really well incorporated into the whole entire dish. I wanna get an even browning on the entire bottom of the pan. But again, you wanna be careful because at this point, it can go from really, really, really good to burnt, like in the blink of an eye. So keep an eye on it. Now, this has been going for a couple minutes now. So we have 2 cans of tomato puree here. So now what we're gonna do is just get in there and just stir this around. Scraped up the bottom. I feel comfortable that there's really nothing stuck to the bottom. We're gonna keep it at a medium to a medium low, but we're gonna put a cover on this and just let it simmer 20 to 30 minutes. So let's get ready for these vegetables. What we're looking for is just the tops and bottoms to be cut off. I don't need this root part, and I don't need the bottom part either. I just want the good part right here. Now we have to start slicing this. Thin, equal layers. Now the sauce is ready. It's been simmering for about 30 minutes, so I know the vegetables are really tender and they're ready to go. We have 2 ways we can go. We can take it out and put it in a blender, or we can use an immersion blender and just do it right in here. Obviously, I hate to do the dishes, and using a blender would be just an extra dish to wash, so I choose to use the immersion blender. So let's add a little bit of my favorite salt, 1 tablespoon of freshly ground pepper in there, and then give it a stir. This is ready to go. Now, we're gonna start putting this together. So we'll just add a spoonful of sauce in here. We have a nice layer of sauce. Now we're gonna go in with our pasta sheets. Now we're using a pasta sheet that doesn't need to be boiled. Some of the pasta sheets that you'll get have to be boiled first, then you have to kind of put them in there and layer it down. The vegetables can be in any layer you want, but all we're gonna do now is just grab a handful of veg and just start layering these in. Now we got all 3 vegetables down. I'm just gonna kind of give it a push down. So now we get another layer of delicious tomato sauce in there. Not too much. Now we're gonna put some ricotta cheese. How much? Again, that's totally up to you. Kind of get in there and mix with the tomato sauce and just give you another heightened flavor. So again, we're gonna get a layer of pasta sheets in there. Now again, the reason we're putting these pasta sheets in is for the moisture. Remember, a lot of these veg have a ton of moisture, so as it cooks, it's gonna release it. So we'll mix that in perfectly. Again, just give it a push down, and again, start the process all over again. Now here, I'm gonna mix it with some pepper still. Now the last layer that's gonna go in is a little bit more tomato sauce. We're gonna put some cheese on this too. Last layer of cheese. Cover this up with some aluminum foil and get it in a 350 to 375 degree oven for about 30 minutes. The last 5 minutes of cooking, what we're gonna do is take the top off because what we want is a nice brown crust on top. So the lasagna is done out of the oven and look at it. It looks delicious. The only thing that's not in here that we really don't need is that meat. We have amazing flavors and colors and textures in here right now that I guarantee you are going to be delicious and you're gonna love it.